Good morning, Lana Scott. Welcome back to the Lighthouse Tribe. So, guys, they've been trying to give me a message for 2 days, and it kind of reminded me, if any of y'all are familiar with Santero, she did a reading quite a while back that was talking about, I think she was saying something about your spirit guides trying to tell you something, and y'all not having clear communication. And, so that feels like what has been the past 2 days, guys, because the angels, or actually yesterday I had a spirit guide I haven't heard from in a while speak to me. It was a really light ear ringing, and I was like, wow, I haven't heard that one. I think I've only heard that one once or twice, and they were trying to tell me something yesterday. And then last night when I went to sleep, I said, please, please come see me in the spirit world. Come see me in dreamland. Come make some sense out of what you're trying to tell me. And this morning I get up and they're saying something about communication. So I on purposely pulled, because I was trying to pull in some clarity, I pulled in the communication card, okay? And then the message started to kind of make sense. So this spirit guide and this angel were telling me that communication is going to be changing on some kind of a frequency level for a lot of people, because the earth herself is changing. People are expanding, they're transcending, they're having all kind of different types of messages come in. They're starting, people's gifts are starting to kind of not change, but it feels like they're saying that the way we go into the future, because of things that are going on now in the future, the way things are going to go about is, I don't know if I can pull it quite in, but they're talking about transcending and expansion, and they're talking about extreme exuberance. So, and yesterday, like I said, when this spirit guide came in and was trying to talk to me, along with an angel, I was, every time I would try to get a grip on what this spirit guide and this angel were trying to tell me, I could almost see them literally throwing their hands up in the air going, oh God, this is like, and it felt like they were trying to speak in some kind of a different language than what I could pick up on. So I thought about that reading of Sands, and I said, well, maybe that's what the message actually is about, right? And then this morning when I get up and I start thinking about it, and I'm hearing, yes, different kinds of messages coming in on a different, because the energy's changing. So they were kind of talking about things changing and more expansion, but then a lot of happiness about it. Okay. This card is the exuberance from the time traveler deck, the Roaring 20s in Paris. So it's telling me about a lot of fast energy. But it's not an energy of you doing things. It's the way the information will come in, and in some ways we may not, some people that couldn't understand it before are going to be transcending, expanding, and you'll be able to understand it as we move into the future, because it's some kind of as the just the planet herself is changing, the energy is going to come in differently, or we're going to understand it in a different way. So I'm pulling that in as good as I can, guys. I shuffled the night spirit deck, and I said, well, give me a card that explains this. And they said, well, it's spirit of air. And I'm like, oh, well, of course, air is how you think, how you process things, how you set your thoughts about, right? How air is the east. It's where things can where they come from, like north is stability, right? In the east, the air is process and how you think and how you pick up things, how your mind works. I don't know how else to put it. But anyway, so then I pulled two of the I shuffled and pulled two of the gateway cards. Let's see, what is the exact name of this deck? What did I do in my box? It's Gateway of Light Activation by Kyle Gray. Guys, I love this deck. It talks all about portals and stuff. And so what I got was Clarity, Divine Healing, High Vibrational Energy, Crystal Skull Wisdom. Now, I don't know a whole lot about the Crystal Skull mythology, but I do know that anytime they have found one anytime they have found one, they have been a mystery to science, and they have been some kind of they've done all kind of they've glowed in the dark. They've set off high vibrational energy, stuff like that, right? And then, so I feel like that's kind of talking about how the energy is going to perk up, speak up, how it's going to start going into the future, and how how everyone differently is going to pick up the energy that comes in as we go into the future. Okay? And then we got angelic frequency. And guys, here's that symbol again. This symbol, I've been seeing this symbol with the sun, with auras around the sun, I mean, for like 3 years now. And to me, I guess it's like my personal symbol now. And there's even an aura around this right here. Right? And then look, here's just some spirals here about things coming in. Okay? And look, all over. I love this card. Angelic frequency. Angels are here. You're safe. Potent connection. So it feels like they're also saying the angels are going to come in and be speaking a lot more, or it's like I'm seeing people stand around and someone's angel comes in and goes, pay attention to something over there, or pay attention, go that way, or where they actually come in and put their hand on your shoulder and they start giving you direct little messages here and there whenever you just need a nudge. So take that how that comes in for you. So I started pulling runes, and then when I got like 4 of them, I said, okay, stop right there. I'm going to pull the rest of them as I've got a videotape this as the messages are coming in. So I'm picking up on a lot of feminine energy, a lot of leadership type of energy, feminine energy, Earth Mother I'm hearing, a lot of birth going on, for everybody, okay? I'm hearing something about the earth herself, okay? About her shifting and changing, new energies coming in. And guys, I normally don't use it, but then we got the weird rune. The weird rune has nothing on it. And it means in the hands of fate. So what they're saying here is that it's going to depend on you, for whoever this message is for. It's going to depend on if you want to take up the challenge, if you want to get new messages, if you decide to listen to what you're hearing, or if you say, well, I can't do it right now, I've got to wait. It's going to depend on each individual that gets that message, that message means something for. Okay? And then I'm hearing female. Now, Perth is usually just like, a roll of the dice, a mystery, or a mystery coming to light. But I'm hearing, in specific, I'm hearing feminine mysteries coming to light. Like, okay, this is kind of funny. So I see these women walking around, and also quite a few guys too, and all of a sudden, like a light bulb comes on over their head, okay? Where suddenly, just out of the blue, some kind of message comes in, or something comes in that you've been struggling with, and then you put it aside for a while, and then as you're walking along one day, it just suddenly, poof, it comes into your head, okay? It's like crossing the line and suddenly figuring out, because like usually this rune, need, goes this way, but here lately they've been telling me, go left, go right, or go all the way around with it. It starts off this way, then it goes this way. So my messages are coming in a little bit different too, as I'm evolving and changing. But they're saying this one's like crossing the line, making sense out of something that, not being relief from stress, but this time making sense out of something that didn't make sense before. Okay, coming in like a bolt of lightning. Does that make sense? Okay, and it's all going to be on how you're wired, how you receive messages, and as those of you figure it out, that's where the exuberance comes in. That's where you start using the energy in a way that is unique to you. Okay, they're saying everybody's unique, but like 3 people with the same gift are going to use it totally different, but you're going to start having more understanding of how to use yours, how the angels and your spirit guides are standing next to you, and it won't be where it sounds like another language. You're just going to be more tuned in. You're going to be more stable, more grounded. You're going to know. You're going to. Like, they're showing me people in their average day, just going about their day, those that are meant to be helpers, leaders, wounded, whatever whatever your gifts are. And we're not necessarily talking about labels here. I only use labels to try to help people understand what their energies are all about. But nobody has to walk around saying, I'm a wounded healer, or I'm a shaman, or I'm a this, or I'm a that. You just know what your gifts are and how to use them, right? But they're showing me all these people, these little light bulbs coming off, and just inwardly, with this exuberance, just it all merging and integrating together as we're evolving, as as things are revolving around us, as they're changing, as we're going in the future, and getting a lot of more understanding on how the energy is working. More people will start putting the energy together and making more sense of it, and it will be something that you don't. Maybe you don't even have to. It just when the lightning bolt comes in and hits you, you're like, oh, you just understand without even having to understand. Does that make sense? Like higher consciousness, or well, they've got this transcending right here, and that's going to be part of it. Okay, where that's where your transcending comes in with the communications, because it feels like it goes like this, right? Because like all of a sudden, you're not gonna, you'll have the knowing. That's what it is. You'll have the knowing. Okay, like right here, this temple lady right here, right? She's holding a crystal ball. She's maybe holding her favorite meditation devices, right? And she just has this look on her face like I've got this in my hand and I just know. Does that make sense? You're just going to know because it's part of your transcending, okay? You're just going to, the information is just going to come right in, and you're just going to know what you know, okay? I hope that makes sense. So a lot of expansion and exuberance coming in with your spirit guides, your angels. Just just like on the breeze, right? It just suddenly makes sense in a way it didn't before. Whatever the message is for you, however you're using your gifts. This is just talking about, Okay, wait, there's another one sticking to my fingers. Let's see what the next message is. It's right. Strength, a doorway. Stepping up in some kind of way, they're saying. And taking the time out. Okay, because this can mean frozen. Isa can mean frozen, standing still, letting the energies swirl around you and settle. Taking a little bit of time out. It can also talk about inner entertainment, where this feels like the bolt of lightning, guys. It feels like it just comes in with this birth, and then depending on you, all these things just start happening. That actually feels like that's a sub-message of that birth rune right there, guys. I'm pulling them one by one instead of doing a drop reading like I normally do, because I just want to go over the energies with it. Yeah, as you go on your journey. Okay, look how these are lining up. Oh. So this is in the hands of fate, right? How you decide, and not really even so much fate, in your hands, how you decide you're going to do things on your personal journey. The runes seem to be going like this and like this today, guys. So on your personal journey, what do you want to take on? What do you not want to take on? What resonates the strongest with you as you go into the future? How much do you want to help? This seems like it's asking a question of you now. How much do you want to help? Where do you want to grow? Where do you want to go? How do you want to use newfound knowledge and communication from your angels, ancestors, from your day-to-day living as you move into the future? So now we're talking more about the journey, guys. And again, that is in the hands of fate, right? Because every day is a brand new day, right? And personally, guys, I mean, I came back, we had come to California, went back to Mississippi. Oh, I'm going to sell my house. Guys, it took me over a year because I couldn't let go. So it's going to depend on everyone of how you want to do things. So it may be a little bit of a crossroads for you. Now, this usually means Gibu, right? But here lately, they've been turning the runes and saying, okay, we need another symbol to explain what we're saying. So they're saying this is more like a crossroads. Again, this one feels like it goes right here. On your journey, or even going into the near future, right? Okay, it's going to be up to this feels like this actually goes up here, guys. I'm going to leave those just like that, though, because it's in the hands of fate, right? Because everyone is different. Maybe, you're married and you got 4 kids and y'all can't just pick up and move, but you're feeling the need to move, from one end of the United States to the other, from one country to another. It's just going to depend on your gifts and all that. Yep. Yeah, it is. Uh-oh. Guys, these are so slick. My little square ones are easy to hold on to. So this is feeling also like some partnerships, and this is Ing. Okay, the other runes have it. They don't have the, it's a Gibu on top of a Gibu, but usually they just have the middle symbol here. But this feels like some type of a partnership or completion of a beginning for someone. So some of you might take a whole brand new journey going into the future. They're saying some of you might literally quit your jobs. For those of you that there's only one or two of you in your family, your immediate family, regardless of if rather you're younger or older, you might literally pack up your stuff and move somewhere because you suddenly. Okay, so it's like maybe you live in a place where there's a cacophony of sounds. Like maybe you live in the middle of New York City and you're close into retirement age and you suddenly go, you know what? I've lived here all my life, but I don't want to live here anymore. I want to go where I can do something different. And you move to the middle of New Mexico or the middle of Arizona where there's no, somebody, or a small place where there's hardly nobody, right? Because you want to hear the messages more. Or you're at a point now where you've been doing this certain job all your life and you're like, I have the money saved up and the resources. I want to explore this more, because they're telling me to. So you go out and you start researching and decide you're going to go back to college, okay? And you're 40 years old and you're like, why am I going to, I just feel called to do this. I see this happening over here and I feel like I need to go get more schooling. And then you start doing research and you find there's a need somewhere you want to go somewhere. And you start researching, going on Google, you start making phone calls and you find out there's a need here for something you want to do. And you've already got some aspect of it down, but maybe you even talk to someone and they say, well, if you go and get the schooling, we'll hire you right now. Or if you want, we have the college here that we would like you to go to. We'll pay your living expenses. You and your old man pack up, or your old lady pack up, and y'all move, okay? Because these people have offered, and you're like, this is what I want to do. It's something like that, they're saying. And it's going to be, it's going to be different like that for everybody. Let's see what else they say here. Okay. Yep. Shedding skins, ancestral lands. Some of you might even be called, okay, this is another message. So they're saying some of you might even be called to go back home or to go from where you came from because this is ancestral lands. Maybe when you were young, you lived out in the country on a farm or on family land and you get called back because one of your relatives is sick or... Oh, yeah, okay, so they're showing me this couple that I met a couple of months ago that they were suddenly being called. They were living here in California. They were being called to go back to Nevada or Carolinas or Colorado, somewhere like that, because they had ancestral land, they had family members on it, and somebody needed their help, and they had a little baby. It was a husband and a wife and a baby, and they were in the process of doing a garage sale. They were selling their house and moving back to ancestral lands. I think her family was there. I can't remember. And they were totally moving back to ancestral lands that because they had some relatives that were sick, and they didn't really want to move because they already had a house and property here, but they felt driven to go. And maybe when you go there, come to find out everything's being left to you and you've always wanted to open up some kind of a certain business and you go there and you say, oh, this is where I'll open up my healthcare business, or this is where I'll go to open up the nursery I've always wanted to run, or this is where I'm going to rehabilitate horses or something like that, something that you want to do. And they were saying, so you go back home to where you came from because of a need that somebody needs or you needed. And when you get there, things swiftly change. And that was the communication that came in for you. Again, this feels like a bunch of people with the energy just moving around them, okay? And transcending and bringing a lot of happiness and joy, okay, of some kind of way going into the future, okay? I don't know. I think it's just going to be different for everyone. Again, it feels like it's up in the hands of where you're at for all this movement to come in, okay? And how each individual person is going to process this communication that's coming in, that's expanding, okay? And some of you, okay, they're telling me to leave it this way. Okay, normally, like I said, guys, I don't normally do reversals. I usually do them upright. So this is the spiritual warrior. I feel like some of you may actually, when you get to where you go, you find that you're more of a spiritual warrior once you get there. Here lately, they've been telling me to turn the roots around. So this just feels like once you get this movement, okay, or maybe you're doing something totally opposite of what you want to do, but you feel like, I don't really want to, but I feel called. Then once you get there, all of a sudden you see why, and you just know. Like you have a dream. They're saying somebody has a dream after they get to where they're going. And they're like, oh, this is what they've been trying to tell me. And you somehow, And guys, when I'm talking about transcending, okay, I want y'all to understand something, because I saw something somebody else said, and I'm like, transcending doesn't mean you suddenly, you and your body or your soul suddenly moves off to another planet and your body falls down dead. Guys, this is what we're talking about. When they talk about transcending, they're talking about elevating your mind, your higher self, your how do you want to say it? Your higher self, you're evolving, you're regenerating, you're changing. It's not that you're going to suddenly, your soul's going to suddenly go to another planet, your body's going to fall down dead, or your whole body's just going to suddenly, you're just suddenly going to disappear. They're talking about your mind, your soul, your spirit, and how those all go together when they talk about transcending. And also on the physical, they're also talking about transcending in that way too, in that you get messages in differently, you understand them, you get more knowings, your chakras light up, they open up, you get more psychic dreams, more psychic abilities, more understanding of how energy works. Okay, when they talk about transcending, that's what they're talking about. They're not talking about physically actually, now if you physically move from one state to another, that's not transcending, guys. That's just changing your locale. Okay, but I heard someone say that the other day. They were like, I don't want to leave my family and friends behind, and I'm like, well, it's not quite like that. It's not like you're going to suddenly just pop off to another planet and your whole body, you're all just going to disappear. They're not talking about, they're talking about regeneration and changing on the inside, right? So then we got microchism to macrochism, okay? Changing, evolving, finding your clan, I'm hearing. Finding your clan. Finding your clan. So guys, this is kind of a group message. Beginnings and endings. Rewards for your efforts over time. Transcending again, I'm hearing. They're literally saying some people are going to be moving to places where the energy speaks to them better, and there's going to be a lot more flow, because where you're at right now, some of you, the energy doesn't feel as good as going into the near future when you find yourself in a different place or a different job or a different something that you need to change up your energy somehow, some way. Okay, so there's more flow. To have a breakthrough in the process of self-change. Hourglass. Look at it this way, guys. Over time. Huge breakthrough for humanity, for people, as they're moving along their journeys and things are changing. Signs, synchronicities. More information coming in. Okay, so this right here is where they're talking about this transcending, guys. This is exactly how this feels. Okay. Does that make sense? Breakthrough, synchronicities, communication, more communication coming in, the breakthroughs, expansion. This is how they're explaining the energy now. It's a little bit different now. Okay, exuberance. They're there with you. Divine clarity. Does this make sense? New birth. In the hands of fate. What are you gonna do with it? What are you gonna do with it? As you're transcending, what are you gonna do with it? This is the journey. However it comes in for you. How do you want to do it? How do you feel you're being called? How are they speaking to you? It's your journey. Are you going to live up to it? Are you going to change it? Are you already on the path that you want to be on? Are you wanting to go out and change the world? Are you, that's what I'm hearing, guys, just like that. Are you? Breakthrough, signs and synchronicities. What are you hearing? What are they communicating to you? What are you wanting to do with the rest of your life? Even if you only think you got 20 years, what do you want to do with the rest of your life? It's up to you. It's not to nobody else. Let me get some, let me see, anything else? I feel like there's one more. It make her, usually this means, Hagalaz means chaos. It usually means opportunity disguised as loss. It can mean, but whatever it is that happens, it's going to be better after that. So this may be you actually thinking over all the pros and cons when this transcending starts happening. Future, abundance. How do you want to change? How do you want to change your life for the better? What are you being called to do? What are you being called to do, guys? Okay? What are you being called to do? And how are they talking to you? Are you getting all the messages? Are you paying attention? They are communicating. And whereas it may not sound like it's something you understand, at some point you will. It will all just be knowing. And it's going to make a lot of people really, really happy. Let me get some cards here for some guidance. See on the bottom, stop caring about what they think. This is your life to love and live. Look what's on the bottom, guys. So that's what the angels are saying. They're saying, as all this communication in, remember it's okay to be happy. Really, it is. Look at all that energy, guys. That feels like that goes right along with this expansion energy right here. It's expanding. It's your life. How do you want to change the world? How do you want to go into your future? It's all up to you. Never forget how resilient you are. You'll always bounce back. So no matter what comes up, what kind of chaos, or what kind of deciding you're going to change, or whatever it is you want to do, mankind has not gotten this far as we have, without being resilient. What's resilient in you, they're asking. What is it? What is strongest about you that you know is a strength? You have the power to, guys, like the third card, every third card I pull, it seems like I pull the same damn card. You have the power to create the life you love. How do you want to help change the world? How do you want to stand up with your gifts and your power and make a difference? Bet on yourself, take chances, reach for your dreams. You've got this. You have got this. Whoever this message is for, and it feels like it's a general collective message, but at the same time, it feels like it's saying, you know, your life is so special, treat it with loving care. You are here to make a difference, no matter whether you think you are or you aren't. Look around again. Let's see, it's starting to repeat now. So now we have Anzu coming in. Look around, find some signs. The universe is speaking to you. You've got this clarity, divine thinking, and help from your angels and ancestors. Right there, guys. I think it's kind of just sort of repeating now. They're just wanting you to know that the world is what you make it. Guys, this is it. Stop looking outside yourself for the answers. You already know them. So again, that's going right along up here with this clarity and this divine of what they know. All right. So guys, this is the message. This is the message. You have the power. How do you want to use it? They're saying, how do you, and as things change and evolve, it's going to become so much more clear for you than it ever has before. Look, I'm going to go shuffle this, and look, power and activation. You have the power. I just said that. You know what? I'm going to take that. I'm going to pull a couple of more just straight out energy cards for y'all. How do you want to change your life? How do you want to change the world going into the future? They're speaking to you. Are you listening? So on the bottom, what is your truth? Now let's see what this next one is. Breakthrough. And we got breakthrough right here too, guys. So I feel like going into the near future, I'm hearing 6 months to a year, a lot of you are going to be going through this process of, I'm not going to be surprised whatsoever if within the next 6 months to a year, I have people telling me, yeah, well, we moved, or we're going to do this, or we're going to do that. And then after they get there, getting another message going, oh, Lana, look, we moved and we did this and we were scared about it, but we did it and look what happened. Oh my gosh, everything opened up for me. I feel like a lot of expansion, a lot of signs and synchronicities, a lot of personal breakthroughs are going to come through in the future. On the other side, I feel like it's on the other side of, what do you call it? When Pluto goes back into Aquarius after November, I think going into 2025, a lot of people are going to be experiencing that. I really, really, really do, guys. I really feel like a lot of people are going to be just experiencing a lot of, just a lot of changes and finding things. Even if it feels more difficult, I just think people are going to be picking up the energy differently and just making some choices that they wouldn't have made before as our planet is changing and we're changing and going along. And I think some of you are going to find your secret gift, your secret power come into being at some point in the future, and you're going to be totally surprised by everything that happens to you. Okay? I shuffled the Denise Lynn deck. We got Tracker on the bottom. Smudging Ceremony, which is talking about cleansing, clearing out, taking the time to think. That's that ice, like that Isis. Taking the energy and the time and clearing it. And maybe even some of you need to cleanse your space. I just recently ordered some frankincense from Goddess Isis in books. And I used frankincense and myrrh and sandalwood, which is my own special blend, and I cleansed my whole house. Okay? Mystery. I don't think so much is going to be a mystery in the future. I think a lot of you are going to figure out. I think that's what all this expansion is. I think this is all coming in for you, and I think that in the near future, a lot of you are going to surprise yourselves. That's what I'm hearing. Because each one of you have the power in your hand. I mean, this is in the hands of fate rune, but I think it's in your power. You know what I'm saying? It's your destiny. What do you want to do with it? We have a lot of birth going on right now. What do you want to do with it? It's up to you. Lighthouse.